Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I am introducing Team Blaha client Jordan, and we are doing basically a power building type program. Right now, we are focusing on his physique. He runs a 4-day body part split that is more or less power building, and his goals right now are physique and hypertrophy. We do come from a powerlifting background. And a little different from a lot of my power building stuff, we are not doing heavy singles at the moment because he's not really worried about his maxes. So you guys are going to notice everything here is 5+ reps. But if we look at his setup, we still start with heavy barbell work, in around the 5 to 6 rep range to start, and then we go into his supplemental work. Now, Jordan has historically always thrived on low volume, so that's where we will have him for these vlogs. We do less than 10 sets of body part for him. And for those curious, yes, he is legitimately lifetime drug free. Our training again right now is very focused on physique and bodybuilding. Not so much sports and everything, but he obviously has an athletic background, has been a lifelong athlete. But right now, we're just doing a Dadbod to daddy transformation. Although he's pretty much there, we are going to continue to refine it. So if we look at this, his training is very chest biased. We start his week with pecs. We do 9 total sets for his chest. That's actually more volume than we do for most of his body. And notice the heavy focus on incline work. So his first day every week for workout 1, we do 3 sets of flat bench, 3 sets of incline bench, and all of that's in around the 5 to 8 rep range. Then we do a little bit more reps with incline dumbbells, and then we do rope press downs. Okay, so again, we are making sure we get those press downs to get the tricep, to get the long head. For people who are curious why, because all the data has always shown press downs actually do work the long head very effectively. All right, his pull day, this is where we do our deadlifts. Now his split, unlike mine, does not have a separate shoulder day. All his shoulder work is kind of incorporated into his back day at the moment, and we don't do any overhead pressing because he doesn't need it. We're focused on incline. So it really ends up being an upper-lower, but the uppers and lowers are more push-pull oriented, right? So one of them is pushing muscles on each, and then the other is pulling muscles. So it ends up being like a chest and tricep split. Then we have a posterior chain day like this, a glute and a hamstring. His back and bicep day coming up is where we put the shoulder work he needs, but his delts are a strong point, so we're not really that worried about them. Just some upright rows, that's all we need. But here on the posterior chain day, we do deficit deadlifts, right? And we do 1 top-end set of those for him, right? We do 1 set, and then we come over to all the other stuff, the glute ham raises, the reverse hypers, and then we do abs. So we end up with about 7 total sets for glutes and hamstrings, right? Because we do 3 sets of the glute ham raises and then 3 sets of reverse hypers. A lot of the stuff we're trying to get real close to failure. We will eventually, as we progress into this vlog, some of this we may go over to doing intensity techniques, so like rest pause and things like that. Which again really is the main intensity technique you would use if you're going to go that route if you're training alone. Right, if you're training alone like he's doing, that's usually the way that you would go. All right, but here again we keep this very simple. We have the deficit deadlifts, glute ham raises, reverse hyper extensions, and then we finish up with ab work. So we do hanging leg raises on this day. So as you guys can kind of see when you look at it, it's 4 exercises. Okay, 3 to 4 exercises on all these, but it's really about 4. 4 total exercises. And again, there's a slight bias towards his weak points, right? Slight bias towards the weak points, like posterior chain, because his deadlift used to be a bit lower than his squat and bench when we were powerlifting. So again, we end up with a little more volume there because we have 6 sets of accessory already, but then we do that deficit deadlift. So it gives us about 7. And again, Jordan's a perfect example of when I tell people, we don't need a lot of volume if our intensity is high to get jacked, okay? We don't need a lot of volume. All right, then we get to his pull day, which is basically our back, bicep, and shoulder day, okay? We do pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. And again, I'm kind of wanting him to go a little wider on these. I feel like he'd get a little more back. So lats are a bit of a weak link for us. So I do want him to get real strong with these weighted pull-ups. So again, right there, you guys can see that set was to failure. Then the rows, we've been talking about these, and yes, I'm having him adjust his form on the rows. We haven't been doing these, and he just now is working these into the rotation, so he had kind of strapped up and everything, and I'm like, no, this is what we need to do for form. So the form will be different on these next time, and we're going to probably lose those straps. Because again, we need grip strength, and there's no need for it, because if we do these rows strictly and in the correct range of motion, we're obviously going to not have a grip issue. Of course, he lost an earbud there. Intensity's high, earbud came out. All right, and this is our only real direct shoulder work. We do a nice wide grip upright row. Again, if you guys notice the angles when I put up a little bit of pictures of him flex, so delts are kind of a strong point for him. And because we do all this other pushing and pulling, all the incline work, wide grip pull-ups, dumbbell rows, we're getting a lot of shoulder. So mainly we just want to make sure that we get one really, really good exercise to finish that off and get that side delt. So we've got the upright rows in there. And then he does barbell curls. And he's got good biceps, so not that worried. Now he is not super strict on these. I'm not that worried about it as long as we don't have any bicep injuries. Let him roll with it. And stuff I do as a coach sometimes. I'm not always a stickler for form on everything. There's certain stuff I'm going to do stricter, and it's fine. Because again, his biceps grow, they're getting good stimulus. Not worried about it. All right, squats. We start with back squats. And yes, he's a high bar squatter, right? So we start with 3 sets of squats. So on the others, we had 3 sets of pull-ups, 3 sets of dumbbell rows, upright rows, 3 sets of barbell curls. Leg day, though, here at the end of the week, we do back squats, okay? We do back squats. And these are kind of top-end sets. We do 2 sets with this, and then we kind of do it kind of more or less in many reps as possible without failing. Then we do 3 sets of leg press. Now, people say, is that good for quads? Dude, that's all you ever need for quads. If you can't grow your quads doing 3 sets of squats and then 3 sets of leg press, you are simply not doing them through a proper range of motion or with enough intensity. It's just how I feel about it. And I've seen that in plenty of lifters over the years. So yeah, this is our quad work. And that works. It will get the job done. And we do it efficiently, and then we get back to recovering. He's a busy life. Again, dad bod to daddy transformations. He's got kids. He's got to spend time with his kids. Got to have his career. So again, these workouts are short. We have a time limit of 45 minutes for these workouts, by the way, right? That he has to pretty strictly adhere to. All right, so after that, we do calf raises on the leg press machine. Again, being efficient. We already have the leg press set up. He's got plates on it. We need to do calves. We just do them right there on the leg press. Again, something you'll notice a lot of my lifters do who have access to these. And then we finish the week up with hanging leg raises. Again, all right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.